because you have to focus a lot on intonation and tone quality, which you don't have to do on piano, and that's really hard.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to tell all my piano collaborators from now on that Julia Jo told me violin is harder than piano.
Well, it seems like you have like pretty much everything figured out between your future as you're going to beat his record for 47 years of marathon running, right? I assume you're playing 2 instruments. You've got most of it figured out, but you did say that you had one really big goal.
Yes.
Something that you're really trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
What is that?
So my one big and very unlikely goal is to become the first human to play live in space.
Whoa. Where did that come from? That goal.
I got the idea because in 6th grade, we are studying a lot of astronomy in science class. And since this year is like the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11, we've studying a lot about that.
Wow.
And I thought about it. I was like, oh, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'll say.
Yeah, I would say so, yes.
And you know what? Getting to know you, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a way for you to play on, I don't know, like the moon.
I hope so.
I agree. I can just see it.
Commander Joe, this is Houston. Report position and status of lunar performance pod. Houston out.
It's a great day on the surface, Houston. Lunar piano pod position stabilized. Instrument readings report affirmative. Requesting permission to depressurize and initiate stage platform release.
That's a green light to depressurize, Commander Joe. Good luck.
Fantastic work, Commander Joe. The American people want to know what you're going to play. Can you report? Houston out.
Not Houston. I'm playing Claire de Lune, of course. Claire de Lune on the moon.
Well, it may defy the laws of physics, but Julia, you're pretty amazing, so I think you're going to make it happen.
Thank you.
Give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Julia Jo, 11 years old, from Westford, Massachusetts.
Tessa and Michael have just released a fantastic album as a duo. Titled Invention, it combines their performances of 2 inventions by J.S. Bach, along with new music of their own invention. You can find it by going to larkandthurber.com. From the Top musicians want to change the world for the better, and we're here to support them. That's why From the Top offers leadership training to all of our young musicians, and we're out there with them doing community engagement projects across the country. Learn more about all our programs at fromthetop.org.
My name is Alexander Vitanov. I'm 18 years old. I study at the Interlochen Arts Academy. I play the trumpet, and I come from Macedonia. My theory professor in my old high school, he told me about Interlochen. I didn't think I'd get him, but I recorded everything and I was accepted with a full scholarship. My parents didn't have enough money for the tickets and for the visa fees, but I was decided that I was gonna come, and that was it. When I decide something, it can't change. So I had to play in bars with my band and play folk songs in order to make money, do labor work in my grandparents' village. I got the money, and I finally got to the summer camp. At Interlochen, everything was different. I'll never forget. I was playing in the band and we had our first rehearsal. Even on the tuning note, I hear how the band sounds and I'm like, oh my God, this is where I belong. Like, this is where I need to play, and I up so much that summer. So I thought to myself, why not try and apply to go to the Interlochen Arts Academy for the whole year? But I also didn't feel like I belonged in the society I was living in back in Macedonia. in Macedonia, life is only good for a small group of people. For the other very large group, almost 95% of the people, life is rough. My generation is getting tricked by the government, so they will not focus on the real problems that are going on in our society and how everything is very corrupted. And my generation is not even trying to fight that. And musically, your parents had to have a lot of money or higher political status in order for you to get promoted. No matter how good I was or how bad I was, they always told me that I was not good enough. And they told me that I'll never make it. And for me, it seemed like there was no hope. You can live on very little food and water, but what a person can't live without is happiness. After the summer camp at Interlochen, they had me do a special audition. It was the best audition I've ever played in my life, and they accepted me. Now I found a community that will accept me the way I am and who I am. My professor, Mr. Ken Larson, is one of the best trumpet players in the world. The piece I'm about to play for you now is the same piece I played at the final audition for Interlochen Arts Academy. It's the last movement of the Sonata for Trumpet and Piano by Erik Ewazen, and I'll be performing with pianist Jung Abang.
Vitanov, 18, from Macedonia, now studying at the Interlaken Arts Academy, performing third movement from Eric Oazen's Sonata for Trumpet and Piano. And big thank you to my friend Zhonga Bang, who collaborated with Alexander at the piano. That was just amazing.
Now, we were getting to know each other a little bit the last few days. You told me on a few occasions, and also the team here, you really wanted the opportunity on air to thank many of the people that helped you get here today, and we would love to give you that opportunity, so please.
Yes. First of all, I wanted to thank my trumpet teachers back in Macedonia, Professor Zlatko Jovanov and Alexander Nikolovsky. Also, I want to thank the trumpet teachers with who I studied here, Professor Vince Di Martino and his son Gabriel Di Martino, Professor John Ali, Mark Chris, and of course my amazing Professor Ken Larson, who is in the audience today. And I want to thank them. I also want to thank all the people here in the United States. I've met some truly fantastic and very good people here. I want to thank my friend Jacob and his family, Mr. Joe and Miss Peggy Peary, because they helped me here while I'm in the United States. They provide me a place to stay on breaks and everything. They helped me a lot. And also, I want to thank the whole Interlaken Center for the Arts Institution, all the people who were always donors. It's an amazing institution who helped me grow a lot in these 2 years. I also want to say thanks to the From the Top and to all of the organization who is behind this, and to the Jack Kent Cook Foundation, because I wouldn't be here without them. And at last, I want to thank my family, close family, and of course my mom and dad, who supported me go through all of this and helped me in every way they can. And it's just, I wouldn't be here without those people, and I feel so grateful. And thank you also for having me today with you, and God bless you.
Oh, it's right back at you, man. You're incredible. Give him a round of applause. Thank you so much for being here, Alexander.
Thank you so much. Alexander Vitanov, amazing trumpet player, 18 years old, from Macedonia. And we're so lucky to have that glowing talent here with us in America.
To take us out of the show, Tessa and I have an original tune called Cedar and Sage from our new album, Invention. But there's no way we're going to play it alone like we normally do when we're in a room with all of this incredible
much talent.
Yeah, these people are amazing. So we're going to bring some of the folks that you heard earlier back out to play this special arrangement of Cedar and Sage that we made just for this show here today. So please welcome back to the stage the Kaliko String Quartet, who opened our show.
Yes. A little refresher, the Kaliko String Quartet is made up of Cheng-Yu Lo and Lena Marie Stoger on violins, Kevin Wallace on viola, and twin brother Andrew Wallace on cello.
Before we kick in, we want to take a moment to do a very special shout out to one of the people who has not only built From the Top as an organization, but also been a key figure in making it the incredible musical family that Tessa and I are so honored to be a part of.
Yes, on behalf of Michael and everyone at From the Top, all of the young musicians who've been on the show, I wanted to thank producer David Balsam, who, among many other things, tons of other things, has made From the Top's tours possible for over 19 years.
David, thank you so much for your leadership, for your friendship, for your sense of humor, and for your incredible entrepreneurial spirit. And thank you to all of these incredible young performers on today's shows. And thank you, most of all, to everybody out there on the radio and everybody in this hall for listening. This is Michael Thurber.
And this is Tessa Lark. And please join us for From the Top again next week.
From the Top is written and produced by Tim Banker and Tom Vagley, with music director Megan Zahn. The tour producer is David Balsam, and the production manager is Matt Dykman, with assistance from David Norville and Abby Rienzo. Technical direction by Barrett Willett, with John Escobar, Dev Ray, and Chris Rando. The executive director is Gretchen Nielsen. I'm Joanne Robinson. From the Top is an independent nonprofit organization based in Boston. If you'd like to appear in our program, apply online at fromthetop.org. From the Top is supported and paid an award from the National Endowment for the Arts, on the web at arts.gov.
Support for NPR comes from this station and from the Jack Kent Cook Foundation, bringing scholarships to high-achieving students with financial need. jkcf.org. From the Office of Travel and Tourism, offering a new way to explore with itineraries for arts, culture, and history in Boston and beyond. The journey begins at massvacation.com. And from the Arcus Foundation, dedicated to the idea that people can live in harmony with one another and the natural world.
We honor the 150th anniversary of Debussy's birth and remember the 100th anniversary of Massenet's death on our next New York Philharmonic broadcast. This is Alec Baldwin. Please join me as Zubin Mehta, Bernstein, and Court Mazur conduct the New York Philharmonic this week.
Coming up next on WNED. This is your classical escape. 94.5 WNED FM and HD1 Buffalo, 89.7 WNJA and HD1 Jamestown, and online at WNED.org/classical. Listener-supported classical WNED.
Credit Suisse is the global sponsor of the New York Philharmonic. The New York Philharmonic this week is generously underwritten by the Kaplan Foundation, the Audrey Love Charitable Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, and the Philharmonic's corporate sponsor, MetLife Foundation. From Avery Fisher Hall in City, it's the New York Philharmonic this week, a weekly program of concerts and recorded highlights by one of the world's great orchestras. And we mark two musical anniversaries: the 150th anniversary of the birth of Claude Debussy and the 100th anniversary of the death of Jules Massenet. We'll pay tribute to both men with a number of recordings from the Philharmonic's archives. I'm Alec Baldwin, and this is the New York Philharmonic this week. Jules Massenet was a French composer who lived from 1842 to 1912. He had a tremendous gift for melody, and today we remember him first and foremost as an opera composer. Massenet's music was very popular during his lifetime, but it fell out of fashion after his death. While his operas Werther and Manon remained repertoire staples, it wasn't until the 1970s that some of his other scores, such as Thais and Don Quixote, came to be met with renewed enthusiasm. In addition to operas, Massenet published several songs, ballet scores, and incidental music. He also wrote around 7 purely orchestral works. Our program opens now with an excerpt from one of these. This is the Angelus from Massenet's Pick Scenes from 1874, recorded in October